We always hear about the spectacular launch of a new AI system, right? But what happens after all the excitement dies down? Who's actually watching to make sure it's working, that it's delivering value, and that it's not, quietly going off the rails? That's what we're going to dive into.
Yeah, because the launch isn't the finish line. It's really just the starting gun. The real work of managing an AI system, that starts the moment it goes live. And honestly, it's a job that never truly ends.
There's this massive myth out there that AI is a set-it-and-forget-it kind of technology. You build it, you launch it, and you're done. But the reality is completely different. It needs constant vigilance. Without it, these systems can suffer from what's called silent degradation. So imagine an e-commerce site where the AI recommender slowly starts suggesting products that are out of stock. The system doesn't crash, there are no error messages, but sales dip and customers get frustrated. That's real business harm happening before anyone even realizes there's a problem.
So to make sense of it all, we're going to walk through the playbook for managing AI after it launches. We'll kick things off by busting that set-it-and-forget-it myth. Then we'll talk about building the AI cockpit, tracking its critical vitals, spotting performance decay, reporting back to mission control, and finally, setting up those all-important alarms.
All right, let's get started by building our control center. The best way to think about managing a live AI system is like piloting a complex aircraft. You wouldn't fly blind, would you? Of course not. You need a cockpit, a single unified dashboard that gives you a complete, real-time view of everything that's going on.
What's really crucial here is that the AI cockpit is broken down into 4 essential instrument panels. First, you have to see the business impact, things like revenue. Second, you got to track the model's technical performance, its accuracy. Third, you need the operational health, like server speed and API health. And finally, and this is a big one, you have to monitor the quality of the data going in. If you're missing even one of these, you're basically flying with a major blind spot.
And just like an actual aircraft, there's a whole flight crew that needs to see these dials. You've got your business owners, your data scientists and ML ops teams, IT and security, and even compliance officers. They all need access to the right information to do their jobs and make sure the system is flying safely and actually heading in the right direction.
So, now that the cockpit is built, it's time to zero in on the most important dials. These are your key performance indicators, or KPIs. These are the critical vitals that tell you if you're actually achieving the goals you set out to accomplish in the first place.
Now, the key takeaway here is the direct link between the technical stuff and the business stuff. Look at this table. A drop in a technical KPI like model accuracy isn't just some abstract tech problem. It could directly lead to a drop in a business KPI like customer retention if, say, the AI starts making really bad recommendations. They are absolutely two sides of the same coin. Great pilots don't just sit there and watch the dials. They're actively scanning the horizon for any sign of trouble. And in the AI world, that means hunting for performance decay. You have to find those subtle clues that your model is getting less and less effective before it causes a major problem.
One of the biggest culprits here is something called concept drift. Basically, this is when the world changes, but your AI model doesn't. Just think about a model that was trained on shopping habits before the pandemic. It would be totally lost trying to make predictions today. Concept drift is when the relationship the model originally learned just isn't true anymore, making its predictions outdated and, wrong.
So how do you fight back? Well, it takes a proactive investigation process. You have to continuously analyze performance trends over time, always looking for any little dip. And when you see one, you dig in and find the root cause. Is it concept drift? Is it a broken data pipeline? Something else? The goal is always early detection.
Okay, so you've got all this data. You're tracking everything. But you can't just keep it to yourself. A pilot has to constantly communicate with mission control. And in the world of AI, that means providing clear, regular reports to all of your key stakeholders.
And this reporting is not a one-size-fits-all deal. Leadership, they need a high-level executive summary focused on business impact. Your engineering teams, they're going to want detailed technical reports on performance metrics. And your compliance and risk folks, they need to see data on things like fairness, bias, and stability. Everyone gets the insight they need to make the right call.
And finally, we get to the most critical safety feature in our entire cockpit, the alarms. These are the automated alerts that basically scream warning when a key metric crosses a dangerous line, demanding your immediate attention.
Now, these alarms come in 2 main flavors. You've got business alerts, which trigger when a top-line goal is at risk, like a sudden nosedive in revenue that's driven by the AI. Then you have technical alerts. Think of these as the early warnings.
They flag things like a spike in server latency or a dip in model accuracy before the business impact becomes catastrophic.
But listen, an alarm is totally useless without a plan. You have to have documented procedures. Who gets the alert? What are the immediate steps they need to take? Is there a clear, validated response plan? And you've got to make sure these alerts are integrated into tools people actually use, like Slack or PagerDuty, so the right people are notified instantly and are ready to jump into action.
So let's bring it all together. A well-managed AI system isn't just left to chance. It is continuously monitored through that unified cockpit. Its success is KPI-driven, tied to real business outcomes. Its performance is trend analyzed to catch that decay early. Its status is transparently reported to all stakeholders. And it's protected by a smart set of automated alerts. This is the Guardian's checklist for responsible AI.
Which really leaves us with one final question to think about for any AI system you use or you manage. Is it just running on autopilot, or is there a skilled crew in the cockpit, making sure it's actively, safely, and consistently delivering real value?